right inner thigh for that second longer hold. And that second time will, of course, now be feeling very different, more intense. You're doing very well, and we're about to change sides. I would suggest, of course, take your breaks whenever you need them, and hopefully you will have done that throughout. But I'd suggest not shaking it off and really feeling what it is you're feeling. Just giving yourself that chance to have these really deep sensations that you're feeling, and not shying away from taking the time to observe them as you come back into the other side, right foot to the left inner thigh. So never a blank canvas, even if we're going from one side to the other, but a second time hold, and for so long you have done extremely well. Release and then move into your ankles. Why was that so hard to find the word for that? Into your ankles, into your legs. Give yourself a little shake. Hips as well. Just taking a little bit of time with that. And if you're not already there, step to the front of your mat. And we're going to reach the arms up high on an inhale. Breathing into that stretch, getting longer, feeling that expansion in the upper body. And slowly from here, eyes can be closed or open, of course, as always. Bring the hands to your heart center. So we don't want to flee that experience here. It's not so much, or not just about that change of perception, the way that we're using our senses. It's also trying to really help ourselves be in the moment and not let the mind wander. And sometimes it's easier to look around, to observe what's going on around us rather than just inside of us. Sometimes we may find it distracting to do that. So we're all different. Now again, another inhale where we're raising the arms up high. Could add a little back bend if we wanted. And on your next exhale, of course I'm particularly slow, bring your hands down, fold forwards, drop the head. And then coming into Padhastasana, bringing the fingertips or the fingers or the whole of the hand underneath our feet so that the hand completely disappears. slowly release. Hands come to the ground, next to the feet if that's possible. And of course we bend the legs as much as we need to. Head dropped. Nice and relaxed. This is a super slow Surya Namaskar, in which we're really holding all of these parts of that present of gratitude Hanuman gave to Surya, the sun god, for all the wisdom he's imparted. So we're stepping the right foot to the back and gently sinking the hips down. Straightening the torso here is an option, but make sure you're comfortable with that. Depends on where the hands are. Then the other option would be to raise the arms and reach them high. But it's just an option. We decide. And then let go and step into a plank. You want to sync that with your breath too, so very much aware of the breath and using an exhalation to step into Dandasana, the plank. Now if you've started with your knees off the ground but you start feeling a little bit fatigued, then definitely bring the knees to the ground. Keep that length and strength in the arms and the width of the upper back, so shoulder blades apart. And then we slowly drop down. I know this is going to be particularly hard with that slowed down speed of the video. So again, Chaturanga Dandasana, or the knees are already on the ground. And of course that angle of the arms doesn't have to be a 90-degree angle. You could be higher. You could just, in fact, just bend the arms a tiny little bit, going into that strength of the tricep. And because we're holding, you don't want to overdo this. You may just want to take it much easier than you normally would. And from here into upward dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Again, this is Lord Shiva, the Lord of the dogs, the Lord of ghosts, because he himself is a ghost. He needs that body that is Shakti. out, and for that long hold we're going to push ourselves up into downward dog or mountain pose from here. And then raising the right leg on one of the next few inhalations. You decide exactly when. We're holding for long enough to really have that freedom to not stick to a particular rhythm. Just ours, just our breath, and what feels good in our body. And then step to the front from here, everybody, getting nice and long in that left leg, sinking the hips down. And I should say, of course, this is a variation. We're going to raise that right arm. Traditional surya namaskar, of course, a little bit different. Now we've done this one earlier, so we'll take ourselves a little bit further now, coming up and over with that right hand gently resting on the back or coming towards your left waist and that left arm reaching over. Gaze fixed to the ground, to your back foot, though of course there's a lot of scope here to do something different. And finishing that round the right side by coming into a forward fold from here. Rising into Hastottanasana, Hast the hand, from here on an inhale. And next exhale takes us into Anjali Mudra, hands coming to the heart center, palms pressed together. Our body's equilibrium in one, all that energy inside of us flowing through us. And then we may or may not be ready for the other side. I hope we are. We're going to inhale and raise the arms again, reaching them high. On your next exhale, fold forward again, and you may remember from the other side, we take our time here in this forward fold, staying for longer, coming into hand to foot or hand under foot pose. So from Uttanasana into Padhastasana. Pad, the foot, hast, the hand, as I said. And you may or may not have done that on the other side already, playing around with closing off your gaze, turning that sense of vision inwards. That is an option, but as always, prioritize your balance. You may this time go a little bit deeper, a little bit further. That may mean the legs go just that little bit straighter, maybe the head comes a little bit further towards your legs, but it doesn't really matter if there's that connection. What you want is to tip down from the hip to find a connection of the belly and the thighs. And then release from here again, coming into our normal Uttanasana, so just hands to the ground, close to the feet. And we get ready to step that left foot to the back and taking our time sinking down. Again, arms up is an option that we do not need to go for, and it is hard to stay in these positions for long. So you may decide to just come into Anjaneyasana, dropping the left knee to the ground here as well. that really is the beauty of holding postures for a long time. We are fully in control. We also know exactly whether something is good for us or not, because we're paying that attention. We take ourselves into Dandasana, and case in point, if we feel that this is too strong for us right now, after everything we've already done, and we've done a lot, then we will bring the knees to the ground. We may decide to come into child's pose. We prioritize the breath and that awareness of everything that's going on in the body to make good decisions. And then you may or may not have been looking forward to this, our second Chaturanga Dandasana. Of course, again, knees to the ground, little mini bend in the arms. Try not to make that mistake of pushing the elbows out to use the biceps. We do want to focus on our tricep here, but we also want to focus even more on the level of comfort in the body. And that is everything, from the way you're holding the head, from the way your neck should be comfortable, what the shoulders are doing here. Is this too much? Is it bearable? And bearable is also one of those. Sometimes bearable is like, no, it's bearable, but I'm not breathing. Are you breathing properly? Inhale, coming into upward dog and allowing yourself to come into Bhujangasana, into a cobra here, if you don't want the legs off the ground, if you want to just take it a little bit easier. And then nice and slowly make your way into Parvatasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, Downward Dog, Mountain Pose, Triangle. And then getting ready to raise that left leg while the shoulders stay strong and keep you from coming forwards. And step to the front again, using your breath and setting up for that twist here. We'll come up as well, but again, even that is an option. You want to work with what's comfortable for your body, what allows you to still observe without too much distraction from all these signals that the body is sending you. Strong signals, I would assume. So stay here, or of course, if you want to get ready to take yourself further into coming up and over. wherever you are, step to the front, coming into a forward fold. And up to standing from here, reaching the arms up high, getting long breathing, enjoying these breaths that we're taking. And on an exhalation, we bring the hands back to the heart center, closing that flow of energy inside of us. And then step your feet apart from here. Hands staying at the heart center for the moment. And maybe the toes are coming outside of the mat as you sink down into Malasana. So how far the feet are apart will depend on you. You can bring the hands around, or the peace fingers around your big toes here, and then gently drop and come into happy baby. And if that doesn't work for you in that way, then of course just roll onto your back, find your variation of Anand Balasana. And we release from here and come into Ardha Halasana, straightening the legs towards the ceiling and relaxing the hands, the arms. Maybe you'd like to bring the hands onto your chest and stomach to observe the breath in your body, how it's changed, if it has, and what your heartbeat is like. Legs might very well start to feel hot or tingly. We'll stay with that. We enjoy the fact that we're able to feel our body. And then we'll take ourselves into a very, very well-deserved resting pose. Could be Supta Baddha Konasana, which I've hinted at there for a moment, or it could be Shavasana. And hands could stay on the chest and stomach, or you could bring them into that more traditional place, opening the palms to the ceilings, or just dropping the arms by your sides. So I was mentioning Shiva and Shakti there earlier. You may already know this if you practice with me a lot. It's that symbol of, so you can take yourself into a twist here. You don't have to. You may feel like it. You may decide that you want to stay in Shavasana. That symbol of Shiva and Shakti and how they work together, how they together form that eternal bond and that indestructible universal energy that is called Brahman. And Shiva, the Lord of Ghosts, is that spirit. He doesn't have a form. Shakti lends her form to him, but she needs him as much as he needs her, because she is also, or could be considered, just a lifeless body without him. If we're taking that into physics, we can speak about mind and matter. It's an eternal discussion in Hinduism of what came first, what is more important. The answer would be, if neither can live without the other, then there is not one that can be more important. And maybe there's also not that distinction. So physics-wise, things changing from what we feel maybe sometimes is tangible, waves, particles, it's the way that we perceive things, but all of that is what Shiva and Shakti symbolize. If you were twisting, then you can twist the other way now, but if you're in your Shavasana, then stay there. And if you feel like that was such a long held twist that you might like to come into a little reset posture first, to just lengthen into your spine before you go to the other side, then Pavan Muktasana is the obvious one, but Shavasana might work better for some. And then if you've not already decided that it's now time to twist the other way, then come into a gentle twist now. Relax into that posture. So wherever you are, allow your body to release any tension that it may be holding, and allow yourself to be fully present and notice everything that's going on here in your body, from past postures and from what you can feel in this particular pose you're in right now. And as you come out of this posture, make sure you go somewhere that's comfortable. Ignore if you are in Shavasana. One variation, one option here for you is what I'm doing right now, but chances are that you know exactly where you'd like to be, and I'm just here to give options. And if you're not already there, now is the perfect time to come into the corpse pose, allowing yourself to get heavy as a corpse, dead weight, and soft. Allowing every exhalation to make you even softer and even heavier. Letting the eyelids encourage the eyes to stop moving. And just observe the breath as it comes and it goes. And then we're slowly waking our body up, stretching the arms and legs away from us, maybe dropping the knees from side to side to see how the hips and sides are feeling. And we make our way up, maybe taking a moment to drop forwards into Pathak Yoga. And it was a pleasure. I hope it was for you as well. And we're almost at the end, and thank you so much for joining. Come to a comfortable seated position, and of course the eyes can stay closed as you just intuitively move shoulders, neck, whatever else is necessary. And then rub your hands together and place the palms over your face. Eyes open, and we bring the hands to the heart center.